Hello, we're going to talk about sports psychology. My name is Mr. Alamin, and this is
Dr.
Tinsley. And the first question is, what is sports psychology? Well, simple said, sports psychology is the scientific study of the individual and how they behave in sports and exercise environments, and how the knowledge can be applied in a particular beneficial way.
Next question is, what is a sports psychologist? A sports psychologist will work with performers to improve behaviour in sport. This involves working with athletes using different techniques to change their state of mind. Sports psychologists will work with performers and athletes to enhance performance. This involves using mental strategies such as imagery or the techniques including relaxation to overcome obstacles and achieve full potential. The sports psychologists work both in the lab and on the field. In the field, they watch athletes performing to analyse performance, to offer feedback to the athlete in ways they can improve. They work to improve performance, build confidence and allow concentration. The roles of a sports psychologist: one is dealing with injury. A sports psychologist will work with athletes who are dealing with injury. During injury, an athlete may lose confidence and lose motivation. During injury, also during injury, an athlete will become anxious and be depressed. After the injury, a sports psychologist will work with the athletes to build their confidence and motivation back up. To bring back confidence, a psychologist will teach the athlete to use mental imagery techniques, such as visualising previous good performance to show that they can do it and how good it felt to succeed. Also, they get the athlete to imagine various scenarios to see whether they can cope with the activity. Another way to improve confidence is goal setting. This is where the athlete tries to achieve the goal. When the goal is achieved, the athlete will gain his confidence. Using visual techniques and goal setting will improve confidence and will help lose the anxiousness and depression. This is because the athlete will know he's done it before and can achieve it again. Also, he met his goal and knows he can do it again. A sporting example will be a footballer recovering from a broken leg, and the sports psychologist will help him recover.
Let's talk about lifestyle management. A psychologist will work with professional and non-professional, so words like amateur athletes, to help them build and manage their healthy lifestyles in so they're suitable with their athleticism, whether it's football, hockey, or whatever sport it is. It just helps them to boost their confidence and performances. First of all, you try to increase your sleeping time, because not many people sleep the amount of hours they should be sleeping. Because, as for example, a footballer usually plays from 10 in the evening, and they usually come home really late. Let's say a match starts at 11 o'clock, and it finishes about 1, and by the time he gets home, it will be about 3 in the morning. Which means, if he has to wake up early, or it's a habit of his, then he'll only get about 5 hours of sleep. And he needs 8, which won't help him next day. That will only build a lot of stress, and he'll face a lot of problems throughout the day. The second thing psychology will try is drinking habits. If usually a male drinks between 3 to 4 units a day. And that's not an athlete, that's an average. So it means an athlete has to drink less to stay healthy. And the female drinks about 2 to 3 average a day. And that's not an athlete either, that's the average person. So you'll try to decrease that, because they'll have to stay fit while they perform. You'll also try to fit and manage their timetables by talking with their managers, because they need as much rest as much as they perform, because it makes a difference in how well you perform depending on how much rest you get, and that doesn't include sleep. You have to get your time to recover, because
Another role will be enhancing performance. A sports psychologist will work with athletes to improve performance. This will involve using a variety of techniques to improve performance. The techniques are building confidence by setting goals that are difficult but realistic for the athlete to achieve. Setting goals for the athlete will improve confidence, because once the goal is met, the athlete will feel good about himself and will gain confidence to achieve all the goals. Another technique sports psychologists will use to enhance performance is stress management. This technique involves relieving pressure off the athlete by reducing the negative thoughts the athlete as and changing them into positive thoughts, and positive thoughts will lead to positive performance. Another way to relieve stress is to use relaxation methods such as mind to muscle. This would involve allowing the performer to do the most relaxing thing they want to do, and this should relieve stress. Another technique is to reduce psychological interference so that performance matches potential. This involves reducing the focus of the athlete, which will allow concentration and focus on the activity, which should allow good performance without distractions. A sporting example would be a sports psychologist working with coaches to improve the team performance.
A psychologist will work with different teams in different sports to build their social and communication skills so that they can work together as a better team. Let's, for example, some teams have this little issue where they just don't cooperate because of their characters in the team. It may be because they all want to be the leader, the star, or the main ingredient in the team. So they start affecting each other negatively, and by standing in each other's ways, they start to affect the overall teamwork and communication. So the psychologists will come in and try and do group-related activities. It doesn't have to be that sport. So they just have to build their communication and teamwork skills. And you also try to create an atmosphere in which all the players help each other, whether it's for defensive or offensive, depending on their sports, of course, or whether it's just to save each other time or space or something like that, like in football.
Another role will be coach education. Coach education involves a sports psychologist finding ways to deal with athletes and teams. A sports psychologist will have to do his own research to find ways to deal with it. A sports psychologist in this area focus on the kind of things that coaches can say or do to improve their coaching techniques or ways they can improve their athlete performance. Also, a sports psychologist will research the best ways coaches can lead and teach their athletes. For example, a sports psychologist might research certain techniques for giving feedback. The best ways could be good communication or offering a reward to the athletes or teams. A sporting example would be coaches working with sports psychologists to gain experience for the team, and this will help them to build performance.
In a sports psychologist doesn't just work with athletes, he also has his research role. It's where he finds out information, mostly history, to build up, so they can deal with the past and learn from it and benefit from it somehow to help the future athletes. It's another role in the business, like they try to make everything better for the future athletes, and they learn from the experience for more knowledge and about how they deal with different athletes. From that, he learns on how to do things better in the future. Yeah.
Another role will be practical consultancy. A sports psychologist will provide advice and expertise about their studies and research with individuals, offering techniques and suggestions to improve performance. This will involve the sports psychologist watching the athlete perform and offering personal advice to improve their performance and ways they can improve. The sports psychologist will teach mental skills to the teams or athletes. Some of the techniques will be imagery. Imagery involves visualising a good performance before taking part in the activity. This will give a good idea to the athletes about what is needed to achieve their full potential. Another technique will be positive thinking instead of negative thinking. The positive thinking will create positive performance. An example of this will be football. A player gets angry at getting the yellow card. A sports psychologist will work with them to keep the anger down.
Here's the teaching role. As an educated sports psychologist, you get the chance to teach younger students who have chosen the same career as yours. You teach them all the strategies, techniques on how to deal with different athletes depending on their problems and issues, whether it's a lifestyle problem or communication problem. They also teach a variety of courses in which the students can develop individually.
Thank you, Ahmed, Dr. Tinsley, and this has been